We're here today on a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're also live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record this morning. Okay, then we'll take announcements.
Morning, Judge Jean Graff and Michelle Silva on behalf of St. Francis, present, ready to proceed.
Karen Mullen, ex-attorney ad litem for the child, ready, Your Honor.
And Costa's present with us.
We are, yes.
All right, Ms. Hall and Mr. Ellison. All right, then I've reviewed the court report, of course, but what's developed? Where did we end up with him?
Yes. So he currently is at Brook Hollow's house in Conroe, Texas. And we currently have a little meeting later today because he's not doing good in that placement.
Is this an RTC or a group home, or what is this?
It's an RTC. There's 3 other children in the home. He was just recently moved there. Maybe the beginning of this month. Let me see. On 12/6, I believe, he moved there. So.
Okay. I mean, I know he was hoping to go back to the step bed where he had been before, but that's obviously not any kind of longer term answer. So what kind of problems are we having?
I received an email. Let me look real quick. He is physical aggressive towards staff and peers, verbal aggressive, refusal to attend, combative and instigating behaviors towards others, leaving the designated areas without permission. So they have concerns and they put him on a 30-day probation period. CASA and I believe Aaron Molinax, I'll send you an invite to that meeting today at 1. They also want to change his level of care. So
is this a meeting at placement?
Yes.
Placement is calling?
Yes.
But
I've also haven't been able to get a hold of Braden at his placement with the numbers given. So
okay, has anybody had contact with him at this new placement since he has been moved there?
Not since it's been moved.
Yeah, so Casa and I just got the information yesterday. And so my office contacted the placement and they said to call the landline. So then the landline just kept ringing and ringing, but then Braden called back.
Okay.
And he seems to think everything is fine.
Has he been, that the leaving designated areas, does that mean he's gone on walkabout like he tends to do, or do we know?
I haven't been able to speak to anybody. Like, I will email and they will email me back, but I haven't been able to speak to anybody. So when I call the numbers, nobody answers. So, and I asked her yesterday what a good number was for them, and it's the same numbers. So
I think it was a lot of stuff we're hoping to get sorted out this afternoon in the meeting.
Yeah, hopefully.
So okay. Is this just a single family residence that's designated or licensed as an RTC? You said there are just 3 other kids in the home. I mean, I'm trying to get a grasp on what kind of facility this is.
I believe so. I looked up the address and a house comes up. So I'm thinking that it is. If I may,
Yeah, I mean, I'm surely we know more than that about where we've put a kid.
Yeah, no, it's a licensed facility. It's not just like it's not like a home that's licensed for it. They only have 3 kids at this time. But it's pretty much like a basic RTC, but it is in like a home-like setting, but it's not just with a couple. Does that make sense? It's not like it's not similar to a foster home in that way.
So is it more like Emerald Children's Home where you've got designated homes and cottages, or
So
within
it's
a facility, or?
It's one, and a lot of those RTCs down in Houston are like this. It's like a big house. It's licensed through a facility, but it's not just like the mom and dad that live there are running an RTC in their home. It's an actual facility, but it's designated in a house.
Okay, so they may have like 20 something beds or more than that or whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Judge, I did speak with Braden a few days ago on his cell phone. I think he had a rough start there. There were some issues, I think, earlier. Well, I guess the end of last week. The last time I spoke with him, he said he didn't care for it there. That's, typical, but I think he did have a rough start, but hopefully once he gets kind of settled, he can get in a routine, hopefully. But there was some issues between him and a staff member in the beginning that I do know of.
You going to school?
He is enrolled in school. He did not go the day last week that I spoke with him. They had woke him up and he said they came in and were ripping sheets off of kids and turning lights on. And he said they were using very ugly language and calling kids and telling them to get up. And he had a headache. He didn't feel good. He said that really made him irritated. And he said, I'm not going to school because I'll just get more irritated and something will happen there. So I do know he skipped that day, but he is enrolled and hopefully has been going since then.
Is this a newly licensed placement? Do we know how long these folks have been doing this?
I do not, Your Honor. I've never had a child placed on my caseload in this facility. But I can look it up and see if I can find something for you.
Well, I'm just curious because with just 3 kids placed there, that begs a question. Well, all right. So while you're looking for that, Ms. Kirksey, is there anything else to report, Ms. Silva? I mean, it's kind of difficult if they won't take your phone calls.
No, he still has some PAL classes to do, and he's still not sure about his plan. He only has a couple months left. So
Yeah.
we need to get, all of that going, but he needs to stay in a placement long enough for that.
Yeah, we need to get a driver's license to do what we need to do. I understand. And he, Braden just won't sit still long enough to get it done.
Yeah, I've begged him.
And Judge, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but he let us know yesterday that he was supposed to do PALS, but the placement hasn't received whatever it is he's supposed to be doing for PALS.
Okay. I don't know whether it's just trying to catch up to him from the last placement.
Probably.
All right, but Ms. Mullinex, you and Mr. Ellison did get to talk with him.
I have not yet.
Okay.
No, we got that info yesterday. And then I thought the meeting was yesterday. I was planning on talking with him then, but the meeting's this afternoon. So hoping to get a lot of this stuff figured out with him then.
Yeah, and I was already gone by the time he called back, so my office talked to him, but I didn't talk to him.
Okay. Well, all right, I guess we will have our usual discussion with him. Or y'all will have your usual discussions with him this afternoon. It's just very worrisome. He's a kid without any support system other than the people on this screen. He's got no family to fall back on. That he's got no plan. So, anybody have any great suggestions?
I
You
mean,
know,
the only thing that I was encouraged by in the email that Michelle and Michaela had shared with us from placement is that I guess one of the options they're looking at is getting him a personal room, which I know for him means a lot. So maybe if he can have his own room in this placement, that'll help avoid any conflict with other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Michelle and I have worked on setting up. So we have a worker that's going to be contacting him now that he's closer to the 18 mark and going over different long-term options with him after he turns 18. I'm hoping maybe that's something that gets a fire lit underneath him. I don't know if it will be, considering he was not happy to be moved. The whole moving out of that last placement, he was pretty upset about. But, we all sat down and had a meeting with him in his previous placement and explained to him, if you continue doing this, this is the last opportunity that they're giving you. Please do not. And he did it. So he's still, I think he's still pretty upset about it. So I'm hoping that maybe he starts coming around. It kind of seems like we go through those phases with him where everything's going good and he wants to be on board and he wants to do it and he wants to talk to us. And right now we're kind of at a phase where he's pretty upset still. So the one thing that I'm hoping for is maybe planning on 18 plus life might get his eyes looking forward and not so much where he's at right now.
All we can do is try. I mean, really, I know for sure with this kiddo, everybody has tried and tried and tried.
And Venus, I wasn't able to find any information, but Venus just messaged me and she said that the facility has been contracted with us for about 1 to 2 months. They've been open since June or July. Thank you, Venus. I could not find it.
Okay, so it's relatively new. Okay, well, I don't know what else to do. Maybe he'll get his own room. Maybe that will help, manage conflict. Maybe he'll settle in and get his PALs finished. Maybe he will settle long enough we can get the driver's license.
Yeah.
And, just keep talking to him. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what else to do. Because my fear is what everybody's fear is. He's going to hit the bricks at age 18 and he's not going to have a clue what to do with himself.
And after we have this meeting, Your Honor, if we have further, or CASA or anybody has any further issues with them not returning the phone calls, please let me know. We can turn in a provider relations report.
All right. Thank you, Michaela.
So,
if somebody would please just send me an email about the kind of what happens in this meeting this afternoon. I would really appreciate it because, I feel like we're all working a little bit in the dark right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, if someone doesn't mind to just shoot an email, just you can copy everybody on it for procedure's sake. But I just kind of like to know what all went on and if we've got any resolutions. So, other than Braden says he'll do it, because none of us are going to go to Vegas on that. Yeah, and I'm not being critical of him. I mean, he's had a rough go of it, and I just wish we could. I just don't know why he won't see that the only person he's really hurting here is himself. So maybe the light bulb will go on. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. I hope the meeting will go well and maybe he'll participate in it and try to keep an open mind. So what we've done is we have set a couple of future reviews. We've scheduled one right before he turns 18 on February 26th on a 9 o'clock docket. We've gone ahead and set one for May 28th of 2025 on a 9 o'clock docket, in hopes that we can, somehow keep him in care. And if he's left care, we'll at least review and see where we're at with him. So we'll continue the department as as permanent managing conservator. We'll continue his current placement there. And I'll see y'all back February 26th. I really hope we can get Braden looped into that hearing. And then so hopefully we can, but unless
and
of
that was
course he's
something.
doing something worthwhile, like in driver's ed or finishing his PALS class, then I'd prefer him to be doing that than sitting here with us.
Yeah, I will say, Your Honor, that last time I talked with him, he did want to be in the hearing today, but again, didn't have an opportunity to coordinate with placement. Thought it was yesterday and I'd get it all sorted out, but my days of the week are just jumbled. So we'll always talk with him. I mean, I know in the past you've been open, so if he wants to meet with you, is that something that we can?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
the holidays are on us, but I'm available. I mean,
Okay.
we'll figure something out.
Put
I
it on the
mean,
list to ask him about today.
I know a lot of you may either have travel plans or you're hosting or, whatever else goes along at this time of year, but I'm happy to figure something out. We'll work something out. All right, then. Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good rest of your day. And for those of you that I won't see again, have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Judge.
Same to you. Y'all
Thank
take
you.
care.
Today on a review hearing, we're conducting this through Zoom under finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming and I am recording to the Zoom cloud. I'm sorry, Ms. Taylor. I didn't realize you were there. I just now saw you. Okay. So Ms. Taylor's making our record. Okay, then we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Good morning, Your Honor. Gene Graff and Michelle Silva on behalf of St. Francis present, ready to proceed.
And Millenex attorney ad litem for the child ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and CASA is also present with us. Looks like Ms. Hall, Ms. Monzingo. Looking to see if we've got anybody else from CASA. I think that's it.
Gary Ellison, right here.
Mr. Ellison. Yeah, Mr. Ellison. Okay. All right. Well, I know what's been going on, obviously, from all the emails and everything. So have we got him in placement?
He did go to placement, and he ran the next day. He's still on runaway. He was placed into the St. George's on 2/14, and then on 2/15 he ran, and so he is still on runaway.
Okay, and has anybody been in contact with him?
Actually, Jamie has. She's the CASA worker.
Okay, before we get into all that, let me just ask her, what was the disposition on the criminal stuff? Is he done with all that, or is he just on bond, or what? Where do we stand?
I believe from what the attorney told us that he did just get an assault charge on his record, and that was the only one. The other one, they just took that one assault charge, but that was it. From my understanding, he just did time served. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So was it on the original charge as far as we know?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess, Jamie, if you've had contact with him, then you may know more than any of the rest of us.
Well, I don't know a whole lot, but he did contact my husband, which is also CASA on his case. It's just another contact for him. They have a pretty good relationship. And so after he ran, the last number we had been trying to get in touch with him on. And so he actually texted my husband last week, I believe it was, and he just said, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm not living on the streets, but I'm not willing to come back into placement." And he said, "I've had enough. I can't do it anymore." So he said, "My plan is to run till I'm 18." The special investigator contacted us, and we had talked with Michelle and Michaela, and thought maybe if we could get him to agree to an unauthorized placement, that he would be willing to talk a little bit more. And so we did get in touch with him this past weekend. I talked to him about that and told him that it would entail the people he's living with getting their background checks done, and that Michelle would have to come and do a walkthrough on the house and whatnot. And he just said, "I'm not willing." He was like, "I don't want to put the people that I'm living with through all that. They're being nice enough to house me." So he said, "I'm not willing to." He said he was washing cars for whoever he's staying with. I don't know if they have a side business doing that, but he's helping them. He was wanting his social and ID and his stuff from care. And I said, "Well, if you are willing to do the unauthorized placement, that's something that we could look into." But he just said, "At this point, I just need to know when I turn 18, what's the next step and how do I go about getting my things." He did tell me, because I said, "Well, that's your choice." And I said, "But there is a missing poster out for you, and probably every police officer in Houston has seen it." And he said, "I'm not worried about that. I'm not in Houston." I'm not sure if I believe that or if that was just him talking. He did tell me that he was living with the dad and his son. Again, how true that is, I don't know. So, but have not talked to him since then. I just said, "Please check in from time to time and let us know that you're okay and, whatnot." And I'll see what I can do as far as trying to figure out something as far as getting your ID and stuff and what that's going to look like for you. But haven't heard back from him since.
Okay. Well, his birthday's March 21st, so it's coming up pretty quick. And, you all have beat your head against this wall all you can. I think we just hold out and hopefully get a report from him every once in a while, how he's doing. And then when he turns 18, I think then there's no question we need to send him his stuff and his documents. And, what do we have? Did he ever get a driver's license? I mean, he wouldn't stay put long enough,
He claims he has an ID of some sort. I'm not sure. He just said he needed what documents St. Francis had, and then he wanted his items from placement, clothes and shoes and whatnot.
Sure. Well, and when he turns the day he turns 18, I have no problem with us turning those things over to him. And then, all we can do is just kind of leave things open for a little while and see if he, discovers it's not as easy or as great as he thought and he needs some help. So, I think that's all we can do. He's had a little taste of reality with being in jail that long, and so at least he's got a roof over his head if he's being truthful about it. So I hope he does. But I don't know.
I do know that the special investigator did go out to a house, but they weren't able to find anybody. The person that was there is in a rehab facility. Something happened to them, and so they weren't there. They called numbers. They checked the number from where he's texting, and it came back as someone. Oh, I can't even remember. H. Lee, I believe, and they weren't able to find anything on that. And yeah, so far that's where we're at. He's blocked me, and so I have no way of even getting a hold of him because he's blocked my number.
Well, there's only so much y'all can do, really. And you've tried and tried and tried. We've tried everything we can reason with him and paint the picture for him, but, you know, I think we're just at a dead end, you know, until Braden ever decides that he wants some help and needs help and wants to do what that's going to require. So not really seeing that on the horizon, but, you know, maybe when we are ready to turn over his documents to him, we'll at least learn a little bit about where he's at and who he's with. And, you know, maybe we can at least try to get word to those people or that individual, whoever's the adult in the household. You
I
know,
did ask him, I said, are you at least going to tell me where you are so that I know you're safe? He said, yeah, when I turn 18, I'll tell you where I am and who I'm with. So hopefully he will.
and you know, and that's great. And then maybe at that point we can try to prevail on whoever's sort of in charge of that household to say, hey, just somebody periodically check in, because he has some options that he can exercise, even if he's left care. And just so they know that, you know, how to contact, you know, the key people, and if he needs something or he's thinking about going to a trade school or, you know, whatever. So, you know, we can assure them at that point. I mean, we're not going to be digging around in their business, because we're not, you know, but it's just knowing that if he needs something, we're here for a while. So I hate to throw in the towel, but I don't know what else we can do at this point, y'all. And unless somebody's got some real great idea.
The only thing I would say, Judge, is as my partner is fond of saying, we don't always know what kind of impact we've had on a person's life. That may come later, but with the effort everybody put in, hopefully that changes the path he's on, you know, going forward, if not immediately, long term. That's all, you know, that's kind of all we can hope for.
Well, you know, I really appreciate all of Costa's effort in this case with this young man, you know, but and I've had other kids age out and basically be, you know, missing from our, you know, radar for a couple of years, and then something happens and they've reached out to their CASA. So it happens, you know, and I kind of hope he'll do it in time where we can be of some real use to him. But that ball's in his court. So Ms. Mullinax, anything to report?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any additional information. I think Jamie's the one that has all the info. So,
okay. Has he blocked you?
I don't have the number that they got a text from. So if Jamie wants to send it to me, I can try to contact him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. Just one more text message or something, maybe, to just reassure that, you know, we get it. He's a big boy now, and he's going to be on his own here in less than 30 days. But, you know, here's how he can contact you if he needs you. All right. Well, I sure appreciate everybody. And, you know, I think, you know, we'll keep it on the calendar right now. We've got another little review set for May 28th. So we can just do a quick check-in, see if we've learned anything, heard anything. And, you know, if we get to that date and haven't, and y'all will just sign off on agreed order, that's fine. But we'll keep checking in for certainly the next year. All right. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Y'all take care, everybody.
Okay. You too.
Thanks, Jerry.
We are here for an extended foster care review. Today, we are conducting this through Zoom for live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. Okay. Braden is not in the waiting room, so I don't have him with us. We'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Judge. Gene Graff and Will Ratton on behalf of the department, present, ready to proceed.
And Mullinax, attorney ad litem for the child, ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and Casa is present with us. All right, well, it continues to be disappointing news.
Yes, ma'am.
At least when the report was filed. So we got anything new?
Since the report, he's pretty much dropped out of contact. He was supposed to get himself enrolled in school, then he didn't. Supposed to get a job, then he didn't. The most report I get from him is from DePelchin. They have had him sneak into their residences several times and had to ask him to leave. When he was seen there, he would usually on camera, and a few of those times he looked intoxicated, either with alcohol or drugs, but they, weren't able to talk to him to know which that he had. Um, he's just not cooperating with the system, does not want to do what is required of him to qualify in order to get some sort of placement.
And he's making that even more obsolete by the day. I mean, with what he's doing, I think even at this point, he's gonna have to do a massive turnaround before we could probably even get anybody to accept him.
Yes, Your Honor. The only one I've talked to that was even soft-hearted enough, I guess, was DePelchin, and she's got Aaron Wiebe has got a bad taste from his actions previously.
Well, I'm sure she doesn't want that to influence her residents.
Exactly. She doesn't. She already has a difficult mix, and so bringing Braden in would be even more difficult, especially because of friendship he has with another resident who is probably her most difficult.
Yeah. Okay. She may have to, if it continues, she may have to trespass him.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, which I hate, but okay, Ms. Molinax, anything to report?
No updates at all, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Casa.
I mean, nothing on my end. It's been no contact also. Jamie can talk to, he's reached out to her a couple times, but there hasn't been anything on my end at all.
Okay.
I haven't had contact with him. It's been several weeks. I think this was right after he had spoke with Jason, and he was, going to look into jobs and going to look into going to school, and but he's just not motivated. I think it's just he says what he wants to hear, what he thinks we want to hear, because he then follows it up with, I know you said you couldn't in the past, but is there any way you can send me money? Because I haven't ate. But I am looking for jobs, and I am looking, and I just keep telling him, I'm like, I need you to put forth some effort first. And, and I don't even entertain it anymore. I just told him until I see some effort on his end, he's going to have to start that. And so, the last time I, gave him the same spiel, he hasn't called me since. And so I don't know if he's still, I'm assuming he's still in Houston. He said he had friends there that he was staying with, but no progress at all.
Well, does he understand that probably everything's going to go dark here in a few months?
Yeah, I think we've all kind of encouraged him that, he needs to stay in touch with us and show some progress. And I know we've all told him, that as long as he's doing something, we will support and we will help and we will encourage. But so far, he has just not pulled his weight at all. Just a lot of excuses. He said he's having a really hard time finding a job in Houston. And I told him I found that hard to believe. I mean, there's not a street corner you can't stand on and find 5 jobs within eye shot, probably. So, until, he's willing to put forth the effort, I told him there's not a lot we can do until he starts.
Yeah. Well, sadly, that's where we're at. And I guess, let's see, he left Karen in August. Is it August? I mean, coming up in August, we're on the cusp of.
He's been in and out of custody and placements and runaway all through that time. I mean, he spent one month in jail not too long ago, and he's been at a couple placements, mostly a couple weeks at a time. Then he'd run away, and then little bit of it at a time, and then run away. I mean, when he was, as I noted in my report, when we first were able to, myself and Will and our unit were able to talk to him, was after he returned from runaway, and he was already 18 by then.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just stay in the wings for a few more months and kind of see where we are, and um I'm just concerned that he signed an extended care agreement, correct?
He has signed some things and he did his PAL classes by packet, but his efforts have been very mix match. Casa would have, well, I will do it, then he doesn't. I tell you I'm going to do it, and then he doesn't. So, I mean, he's got the paperwork, he's got those type of things, but he doesn't have any of the qualifications needed in place, especially with his criminal history to show and get an SIL or similar program. I've sent him information for TLPs, transitional living programs in the area. Uh, I've sent him resources, walked him through how to enroll for classes, every aspect, but he doesn't follow through on that.
Well, here's the issue is he's not here telling me that he wants me to continue jurisdiction.
You are correct, Your Honor. I mean, as it is right now with his lack of contact, I think he's expressed how he wants to be interacted with or not.
Well, let me just, I'm just, right now, there's not anything that any of us are able to do for him. So, do we pull the plug and just dismiss this whole thing right now? And, he's got a brief period of time he could come back in, I suppose.
Your Honor, if I may, on April 8th, you signed an order that put him in trial independence beginning March 21st, and it would end on September 17th by that order.
Okay, I was thinking I had in my head August, but so maybe that's it. So, we don't have another review hearing scheduled until October, but maybe Miss Katie, we can set a date close to that.
We could do that, Your Honor. He can also, even if jurisdiction's ended, if he chooses to and turns around, he can still come back into care until he's 21.
Right.
So, whether jurisdiction is in place or not, he still has access to his care and resources if he'll utilize them.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. The truth is, all of your resources, could probably be better spent at this point in time. I hate to just, raise the white flag and give up on him, but the truth is he's not helping us help him. And so, and because he can come back in if he chooses to, is it time to call uncle and let you guys spend your time on, other things that are going to be more fruitful? Anybody have a strong feeling about it? Because I'm ready to go ahead and pull the plug if anybody, unless somebody's got a real strong objection to it.
No, Your Honor. I usually would argue against that type of thing, but in this case, he's just not wanting to participate.
And that's, I think it's telling for me, because I tend to have strong opinions, that I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other at this point. I think that's, at least for me, that's indicative of where we've gotten to with us.
Well, this is a situation where it's not anybody that I'm sitting here looking at. Everybody's gone above and beyond. It's nobody's fault that's sitting here. And everybody knows that. Nobody bears any blame for this. Nobody bears, it's part of the sad situation of a child that has been in care virtually his entire life. And, for whatever reason, he just, he doesn't want to try to overcome those attachment disorders and all that goes along with that. And it's, it makes me very sad. And I don't want anybody to misconstrue my, what my underlying feelings are about this or about him. I wish it were a different situation, but I also know that each and every one of you are very busy people, and I'd rather have you involved, on with other kids, other young adults that, are desperately seeking our help. So, because he can come back into care, I think it's just time that we all raise the white flag, and I think somebody communicate to him that that's it. If he knows how to get a hold of, obviously knows how to get a hold of Jamie. I mean, if he ever wants to come back into care, all he's got to do is make a phone call. And then show us that he really wants to do it. But that as of now, then, as soon as I sign an order, we're dismissed. We're done.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm not hearing any big objections, so that's what we're going to do today.
Your Honor, for the record, since I've had this case, I've seen nothing but dedication of this kid by this team. People going the extra mile. And I think the fact that there is a safety net in that he's got the possibility of coming back in if he chooses to. That's all we can do.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, we're just spinning wheels right now. So, yeah, and maybe it's good for him to hear that there is some finality to things. So, okay, well, I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have done amazing work. You've tried very, very hard. Mr. Ellison, you tried so hard with him, and Jamie, Casa, you guys especially, I know, because you were often his point of contact in all of this. And so I can't thank y'all enough and for everything that you've done for him and have tried to do for him. So, let's move on to our next challenge. Okay. Appreciate y'all. So we don't have any further hearing dates to announce. So that's it.
All right. Well, y'all take care, everybody.
All right. You too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, with regard to the next hearing, would you allow me to turn off my
Get
camera?
myself on camera here. I think we're ready to proceed with an agreed order.
All right, great. We are here today on a request for court-ordered services by the department, and we are conducting this through Zoom. We are also live streaming. Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Thank you, Honor. Jean Graff and Keyshawn Mahoney on behalf of the department, present, ready to proceed.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the mother, Your Honor. I can't see her on my screen, but I do believe she's here and we're ready to proceed.
She is present, yes.
All right, thank you.
Casey Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Groff, if you want to tell me what you all agreed to, that'd be great.
Thank you, Judge. So at this point in time, mother is agreeing to work drug services, maintain a drug-free lifestyle, random UAs, and the department will be paying for the drug testing at Care Express. Also an OSAR assessment, follow any recommendations regarding services, individual counseling, parenting classes, rational behavior therapy, and of course, sign releases of information and stay in touch with the department.
Right. And obviously, Ms. Woods, they will be making visits to your home periodically. Those could be announced or unannounced. And, you do need to allow them to see the home and of course, see the children. Ms. Zavala, who you may see on your screen here, is the children's attorney. And she will periodically need to see the kids and visit with them. So, that might take place at home, that might take place at school, but just so you know who she is and that she represents the children and the best interest of the children, and she will be making contact with the kids, on a periodic basis. You might even be contacted by her assistant at some point in time. So just be sure that, you kind of are aware that they're out there and their calls need to be returned. And her assistant's name is Kelly. So, okay. Ms. Lucero, is this what your client has agreed to?
Yes, Your Honor. I've spoken with her various times, and this is, she is in agreement, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, and Ms. Zavala.
I do believe this agreement is in the children's best interest.
Okay. All right, Ms. Woods, do you have any questions that you need to ask today? Anything you're not clear about?
No, ma'am. I don't have any questions.
Okay. So, this, unlike when we have to legally remove children from the home, we want the kids to remain in the home with you. We want kids to be safe, and we want to work with you and help you so that you don't find yourself in this situation again, quite frankly, I think you will find that all of these folks are here to do just that. They're here to help. They're not here to, police you or to be nosing in and, unnecessarily in your business. They're just here to try to, get things back on the right track and make sure that you can maintain that. So, I appreciate your cooperation, and we will have what we call a compliance hearing. It'll be just an informal hearing again. It's just to update me how things are going, how the kids are doing. Is there anything we need to adjust? Anything we need to add, take away, that kind of thing. So It's just sort of like, a check-in.
Okay.
Okay. So I will order the services as requested by the department, and that have been outlined by Mr. Groff, in today's hearing. And I will see everybody back for that first compliance hearing on March 6th of 2025. And that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Great.
All right, then. I sure appreciate everybody working it out. And you all are free to go on about your day. For those of you who are leaving, and I won't be seeing again, have a very Merry Christmas and a good New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas, all. I have another hearing, Your Honor, so I'll be sticking around.
Okay. We're
Thanks.
here on all three cases for our adversary hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. Ms. Taylor's making our record this morning. Okay. We'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present ready on all three cases, Your Honor.
T.D. Hammonds for the mother, Amanda McCarty. Ready to proceed, Judge. I can tell the court we'll announce to the court we have an agreement.
Jerry Morales for respondent father, James McCarty. He is present, Your Honor. We are agreed, and he just has a brief announcement. We are ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Timothy, who goes by TJ, Maya, and Jax.
Okay. So Jarrus Stevens, the father, no, I believe he's acknowledged.
Yes, ma'am. He's
acknowledged father of Jax is not present. What's the status of service or communication with him?
we have not had any communication with him and don't have any service on him, Your Honor. I don't believe Ms. Panada has been able to get in touch either. Is that correct, Ms. Moore?
That's correct. We haven't been able to locate Mr. Stevens.
Yeah, we don't have any locating information on him right now to get him served, Your Honor.
All right. And then we have an unknown father of Timothy. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. We've not gained any other information about that.
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor. No, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and proceed today. So, with respect to cause number 919, all the parties present, and then Mr. Trout, what have you all agreed to?
Yes, ma'am. In agreement for the department to have temporary managing conservatorship for parents to work services. There is a prior order where Mr. McCarty, from 2019, where Mr. McCarty's ordered to pay child support and medical support. That is to be redirected to the department for the time being. We had asked for after speaking to Mr. Morales, his client is willing to drug screen for us. At this time, he's the non-offending parent in our case, and so we would ask that he drug screen, and then we can look toward placements are where we would do with Maya.
Your Honor, that is Mr. McCarty's agreement. He's eager to take a drug screen. I believe he indicated to me that he lives in a 4-bedroom house with his parents, and so there's plenty of room. And in fact, he said that he would take all 4 children if need be. He said that his his parents and himself treat the other 2 just like their own, and it wouldn't be much of an issue. And so I did explain to him that preference is going to be given to fathers if they're suitable, most likely, but to the extent that we need to keep the siblings together, he's willing to do that. So he's would like to be considered placement for the other 2 as well. That's really all we need to announce, Your Honor.
Okay. And you'd said 4 children, but there obviously are 3 children. And
Or I'm sorry, 3 children. Yeah.
And yeah, you made that clear at the end of your sentence. So okay. All right. Then okay. What about visitation? Just at least 1 hour a week with mom initially supervised?
Yes, ma'am, I believe so. Ms. Bonetta, they've started visitations? His mom's had visitation, correct?
Yeah, she has had a FaceTime visitation.
And children are placed out of area right now, Your Honor, so it'll be virtual until we can get something figured out to try to get them moved back.
And if placement is feasible with Mr. McCarty, where does he live?
He lives here in Amarillo, Your Honor.
Okay, that certainly will make things easier then as we move along if that works out. Okay, Mr. Hammonds, just so we know, what's your client's feeling about the children being placed with him? Is she agreeable to that?
Judge, I'll just have to ask her in front of you because that's the first, I'd heard of that suggestion. Amanda, are you unmuted right now? Can you talk to us?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out how to work this.
Yeah, Amanda, do you have any objections to, if possible, all of the children being placed with Timothy at this point?
I really prefer them to be placed with Bradley and Kristen.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you what.
You understand? I'm sorry, Judge.
Well, we're not making that decision today, so we won't get hung up on that. Obviously, she can let let St. Francis know what her feelings and you are about that, and if we have to have some subsequent placement hearing on that, we can do that.
Right. I'll call her and explain that to her, Judge.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just ask then, Mr. Hammonds, then that sounds like what's been announced sounds like your all's agreement.
Correct, Judge.
Right, and obviously absent the placement issue. We're not talking about that right now.
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Morales, this is your client's agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Right, and Ms. Zavala, with respect to me, do you believe that this is in the best interest of that child?
I do, Your Honor. Are we addressing placement at all?
Well, not you talking about down the line, or?
Well, I mean, in terms of the other kids being placed with Mr. McCarty, this is the first I've heard about it.
So no, we're not addressing that today.
Okay. Because I'm all in favor of evaluation of that, but the kids do have, TJ has some preferences about where he wants to be placed. So I just want to make sure that we get to evaluate that at a later time.
Yeah, it sounds to me like we may be doing a placement hearing, and that could be potentially with the status hearing. I don't know if it needs to be before that, then everybody will just let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
But otherwise, right now, Ms. Zavala, you're agreeable to temporary managing conservatorship and I'm really just talking about Mia.
Just
right?
for Maya? Yeah.
Maya,
I do believe that's in her best interest. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And Judge, while we're talking about, since Mr. Morales' client, dad in this case, stated he would do our drug screens, I just want to let Ms. let Ismar know we need to get those drug screens sent over so that he can go do that today. If we can get a hair follicle UA sent over.
We will get that sent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Mr. McCarty, you will need to be there before 4 p.m. because that's kind of a cutoff. The earlier, the better, obviously. Okay, then, Mr. Trout, with respect to Jax and Timothy, you need to put a little bit of testimony on.
Yes, ma'am. As my understanding, mom's in agreement on all three of these cases, so just fathers. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I've read the affidavits of removal in each case. So if that assists in as far as what you need to cover.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just cover as far as names of dads what our efforts have been on that.
Okay, that'd be great.
Isamar Hernandez Panada would be my witness today, Your Honor.
All right.
Panetta.
Will you raise your right?
And how are you employed?
I'm an investigator for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And you're familiar with the other two cases we're here on today involving?
Yes.
And you were the investigator on these two cases also, correct?
Yes.
During your investigation, did you inquire about and search for who the father of Timothy was?
I did.
And did you come up with any name?
I did not.
Okay. Did you have conversations with the mother?
Yes.
Did she tell you who she thought the father was?
She disclosed to me that she didn't know who the father was to Timothy.
Okay. So no names, nobody to even look at or try to call, nothing?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you have this conversation with mom once or more than once?
I believe it was just once.
Okay. Have you looked to see if there are any birth records or anything that was their father's name listed anywhere?
I did not see that. There was a father's name listed on Timothy's birth certificate, but that person was later ruled out as not being the father.
Okay, and in a prior case, that person was ruled out. Okay.
Right.
And since then, no other name has come about.
No.
Okay. You heard the agreement that mom's in agreement today. Are you asking the court today to grant temporary managing conservatorship of Timothy and for mom to work services and to continue to search to see if we can find out who the father is?
Yes.
And do you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
I do.
All three children are placed together currently?
Correct.
Doing well?
Yes.
Okay. You stated earlier that visits have been set up?
Yes.
And so you do believe in Timothy's case, where he is in the best interest for him right now?
I do.
As to Jack's presumed father, known father is Jarrett Stevens, correct?
Yes.
Have you been able to locate any information on him?
I have not.
Did mom have any contact information, phone numbers, email, Facebook, anything for him?
No.
What searches have you run to try to find him?
We conducted a finder search. We also sent a courtesy worker in the Abilene area to go to an address. They were not able to locate him at that address, nor at a phone number that we had for him.
Okay. Was there anybody at that address?
I believe it was a halfway house, and so they stated that they didn't see Richard. Sorry, did not see him there.
Okay. Have you been able to locate any family or anybody that may know where he is?
I have not.
Okay. Based on that, and you heard mom's agreement in this case also, based on us not being able to find the father in the case at this time and cannot place with him due to that or do background checks on him to see if he'd be an appropriate placement, do you believe it's in the best interest of the child for the department to have temporary managing conservatorship?
I do.
And is that what you're asking the court for today?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hammond, any questions?
I have none, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Morales?
No questions, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Zavala?
No questions.
All right. Okay, Mr. Trout, any further witnesses?
I'd call mom real quick, Your Honor.
All right.
And Ms. McCarty, you are the mother to Timothy and Jax, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You heard the testimony just then from Ms. Isamar, correct?
Yes.
As to Timothy, do you have a name or somebody that we can look at or talk to maybe do paternity testing?
As I explained to Miss Ismar, the only person I know of was Brad, because simple fact, there was an incident that happened back then.
Okay.
And the only two people that I know for sure could possibly be were both rolled out.
Okay. All right. If you throughout this case, if something comes to mind or something comes up, if you would let us know so that we could, if we have anybody we can look at. As to Jack,
Yes, sir.
do you know where or have any contact information for Jared Stevens?
Last I heard, he was in Abilene. I haven't spoken to him since Jax was about 2-3 months
and
old.
how long ago was that?
Jax is now 4. Like I said, he was about 2-3 months, 4 months. It's been a little bit.
Okay, so between 3 or 4 years, you haven't talked to him.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know of any family members of his that may know where he is?
I didn't really meet any of his family. He kept to himself mostly.
Okay. All right. If
I do hear about anything, I can inform y'all though.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, just for clarification, Richard is not, he is not an alleged father of either of those children, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Hammonds, any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Morales?
No questions, Judge.
Okay, and Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, anything further, Mr. Trout?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hammonds, anything to present today?
No, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Morales?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Zavala?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right.
And
All right, everybody rest and close?
Your Honor, I have one statement on as to the on case on Jack Steve. There are prior orders where Jared Stevens is ordered to pay child support and medical support. We had asked that be redirected to the department also in the order.
Okay, I'm going to, this is an issue that I wanted to raise before I ruled today. If there's a possibility that Mr. McCarty could be placement of his child and or the other two children, it seems to me to make sense to wait to redirect child support to the department.
Okay.
Because if he does become placement for his own child, obviously I'm going to just stop his child support.
Yes, ma'am.
And the same would hold true then as far as redirecting Mr. Stevens' support. If that child ends up in placement with Mr. McCarty, I would redirect that support to Mr. McCarty.
Wow.
Not necessarily the department, although it may go to the department, depending on some other things. So I would really like to defer on that until we kind of sort through this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because everybody knows that it's kind of a black hole when we start redirecting this child support.
Okay. I'll mark those out of both orders, Your Honor.
Okay, and then I'm making a note, we just need to revisit that at a placement hearing or at the status hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, anybody have any problem with that?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Ms. Zavala, you have a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe it's in the children's best interest that the department be named temporary managing conservator. I was able to video visit with all of the kids, and I've gotten a lot of photographs and reports. They are doing very well. I am all in favor of evaluating Mr. McCarty as possible placement. It's just new information to me, and that's not something I was able to really discuss with the kids. They are doing very well where they are, and TJ specifically made a statement that he's happy where he is right now, but that was not discussed with them. So it looks like we'll be evaluating that, and I think that's a good thing.
Right. Always better to have options.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, then. So today I'm going to find the evidence is sufficient to name the department as temporary managing conservator of all of the children I would find a continuing danger to return the children home to either of their parents at this time. I'm going to order Mr. McCarty to drug test today before 4 p.m. and I assume we're wanting hair and UA.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm going to hold off on redirecting his child support until we determine placement. Same with Mr. Stevens' child support. We'll hold off until we determine what placement's going to look like. I'm going to order the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family or families. All right. So for the parents that are in attendance today, stay in close contact with your attorneys, stay in close contact with your caseworker. When this case is now going to transfer over, and the caseworkers you're going to be dealing with will be through St. Francis Ministries. And they are technically called a permanency specialist. But you will also hear us refer to them as caseworkers. So I just don't want that to be confusing to you. They may also be assigning what they call a parent support worker to you. That's a person, designated to try to help assist you with, certain services and or visits with the children. So between now and our next hearing, a lot of those things are going to happen. You're going to be asked to sit down with the department representatives and to create what we call a service plan. We'll talk about those more at the next hearing, but that's, a document that will detail what services that the department is asking for you to complete. You and your attorneys can have some input on that and discuss that. So I encourage you to participate in that meeting with the department. Okay, then I will see everybody back on January 23rd of 2025 for our status hearing. If a placement hearing is needed before that time on any or all of the children, just notify Ms. Katie and we'll get that scheduled, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you all for working with us, and I hope everybody has a nice Christmas and a good New Year.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
We're here for an adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. It is now 10:55 a.m. This case was set at 10:45 a.m. I do not have Daniel Austin nor Austin Randall Anderson Sr., both alleged fathers in the case. I do not have them in the waiting room, and we also have an unknown father named, and nobody in the waiting room that I can't identify. So we will go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services were present, ready on.
Yep. Did we lose Ms. Lucero?
I think
Sure
we just
did.
did.
I think so, yeah.
And I've got Ms. Reeb coming in under a separate device. Okay, Ms. Reeb, I've got you logged in under another device. You'll need to unmute.
Okay. I was trying to turn on my camera and it wouldn't work, so I'm trying to get off of there on my phone.
I can remove it. That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Reba, I just need to ask to be sure. Neither Mr. Austin.
Your Honor, it's Lorraine Lucero. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Ms. Reba, I just need to ask, is Mr. Austin or Mr. Anderson present with you?
No, it's just me and my mom sitting next to me at the table.
Okay, that's fine. I just was double checking because you obviously referenced somebody else was there. So,
okay.
All right. Okay, Ms. Lucero, we lost her again. Okay, Ms. Lucero is present with her client, Ms. Reeb.
And Stacy Zabala on behalf of Stetson.
Okay, we'll wait till she gets logged back in.
Video kept going in and out, so I thought it'd be best if I just call in.
That's fine. I went ahead and announced that you were present with your client. So.
All right, thank you.
All right then, Mr. Trout, who's your first witness today?
Your Honor, Before I call my first witness, I received an email from Ms. Lucero. I believe we have an agreement as to mom
Okay,
in this case. And I'll of course, let Ms. Lucero verify that, but that mom's in agreement and is willing to work services with the department.
Your Honor, I've spoken with my client and she has agreed to work services. She just wanted to let the court know that she doesn't agree with all the allegations that were made in the affidavit of removal, but she knows that she needs to, get her life straight, things like that. She does want the child to stay where he is currently placed, if possible, for now at least. But again, she is willing to work services.
okay. Where is the child placed right now?
He's in a foster home where another child of Miss Reeves was placed in the past, and I believe that family had adopted him.
Okay,
So he's placed with a sibling. Yes.
all right, very good. All right, then, Mr. Trout, with respect to the other alleged dads, then you need to put on some testimony today.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume your agreement with Ms. Reeb is no child support, no medical support, so
Correct.
that she can use her resources to work services.
Correct, Your Honor. From Ms. Lucero, from what I understand, mom is trying to find a facility to get in to start working on her sobriety and stuff. So we're not asking for any child support or medical support, just for mom to work services once she gets to the spot.
Okay.
And that's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, very good. And I assume same thing, we'll probably have to have like an in-person, or excuse me, like video visitation, and until we get a negative drug screen.
Yes, ma'am, we would ask for that, Your Honor, but we're good with the virtual visits to them.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Stretch, you go ahead and call your first witness.
Call Kelsey White, Your Honor.
I am.
And how are you familiar with that case?
I've been the investigator on that case.
Okay. You heard the agreement announced by mom and mom's attorney?
Yes.
Okay. So in regards to the alleged fathers, when you begin your investigation, did you speak to mom about who she believed the father was?
Yes.
And who did she tell you?
It was confusing in the beginning that it was just Austin, so it was assumed by everybody involved that it was the same before, and then I was given the name Austin Anderson, and then upon further investigating, she told me she doesn't know.
Okay. And just to explain to the court, you said it was a little confusing. Had Daniel Austin been named in a prior case?
Correct, in the previous one.
So that is why it was assumed that when she said Austin, that's who she was speaking of.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you discussed with mom since then whether she thinks Daniel Austin is?
Yes, and she said he's not.
Okay. Did you discuss where did you get the name Austin Anderson?
And going back and forth and trying to gather information from her and her mom, that name was given to me.
Okay. Have you been able to locate either one of them?
I have not.
Okay. Does mom have contact information for either one of them?
No, the information I had, I verified that it was correct, but there has been no contact made.
Okay. And give me the steps that you've gone through to try to make contact with them.
Gathering that information from previous history and going through impact, and then requesting an accurate on both alleged fathers. The addresses provided were correct. I also was notified that there was a warrant out, and that information I compared to what I had, and the address, phone number, all of that was correct. Just no contact was made.
Okay. And you said a warrant on who?
Austin Anderson.
Okay. Are they both alleged fathers believed to be in the Amarillo area?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any more conversations with mom on whether she's had any contact with either one of them?
Yes, and that's when she told me that she, to her knowledge, she doesn't believe it's either of them. She doesn't know who it is.
Okay. Do you believe, based upon mom's agreement and unable to find make contact with either of the alleged fathers and not knowing another name for the unknown father, do you believe it's in the best interest of the child to stay in care for mom to work on her sobriety while we try to track down the alleged fathers?
Yes.
And you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Have you had conversations with mom? She stated that she wants to work on herself and get through substance abuse treatment. Have you had conversations with her about that?
Yes. We did meet and discuss all of that, and that she wanted to focus on sobriety and all of that to better herself.
Okay. And the child is doing well?
Yes.
Okay. And is placed with a sibling?
Correct.
And all needs are being met at this time?
Yes. Medical and all of that. He's doing well.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, I want to just, let me clear up on these alleged dads. So I understand where the confusion was about Daniel Austin and Austin Randall Anderson Sr. So, but mom is, so that was just clearly a misunderstanding between communication with mom and department. So mother has told us, though, she is not alleging at all that Daniel Austin is the father. Is that correct?
Correct. Mom has verified that Daniel Austin is nowhere tied into this baby.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I was going to call mom to clarify on that also.
Okay. So, which is fine to do, but I mean, you obviously know where I'm headed with this. So whether he needs to even be named in the suit.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, then the same with Austin Anderson. Did anybody ever indicate that he is a possible father? Did mother ever indicate that, or anyone else?
Yes, that was told to me by grandmother, and then it was acknowledged in a conversation with mom, and she was very upset that that name had been provided to me, and that's when she told me that he is to not be involved in this at all. She doesn't know who the father is.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm
there's a scintilla of evidence that he is an alleged father.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll allow Mr. Trout then to follow up on that, but I just had those questions. So
yes.
Okay. All right. You may proceed. Any other questions for Ms. White?
I don't have any, Your Honor. I don't know if Ms. Lucero, I don't know if we went through the.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Haven't been through the wheel yet. I just want to make sure you didn't have anything else for.
Nothing at this time for you, Your Honor.
All right. Then before I rudely interrupted, I wanted to make sure you didn't have anything else.
No, you were good.
Okay. Ms. Lucero.
I don't have any questions for Ms. White, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Zavala.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. You can call your next witness.
Call Jessica Rube, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rube, you need to turn your video on for me.
Okay.
I'll just tell you during these hearings, you need to try to keep your video on if you can.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give today will
So
be
to try to clear up on the alleged fathers, is there any possibility that Daniel Austin is the father of Stetson?
No, it was just a miscommunication with St. Francis and everything. Because he's been incarcerated whenever I conceived Stetson, so there's no way.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Daniel Austin?
I think I was 6 months pregnant with Xander.
Okay. And Xander's your other child?
My previous, yes.
And how old is Xander now?
He is a year.
Okay. So we're looking at about 15 months since you've seen Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Okay. So there, in your mind, there is no way that Daniel Austin is the father to Stetson?
Right. It's not possible.
Okay. The other name was Austin Anderson. Is there a possibility Austin Anderson is the father?
There is a possibility, but I'm not sure.
Okay. But is he somebody that you were involved with or dated?
I was involved with him, but we weren't dating.
Okay. You were involved with him around the time that Stetson was conceived?
Yes.
Okay. So there is a possibility out there that he could be?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other names that we need to know about or people that we need to look at that possibly could be the father of Stetson?
Not at this time.
Okay. Do you have anybody in mind, or is this, I mean, you just don't know a name?
I just don't know a name.
Okay. But from your understanding, Daniel Austin, there's no way he can be. And Austin
Yes.
Anderson, there is a possibility.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Lucero, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, Mr. Trout, anything further for this witness?
Nothing further from this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else from the department?
No, ma'am, nothing else from the department.
Okay, Ms. Lucero, anything to present today?
Your Honor, I don't have any witnesses. I just wanted to be clear as far as Jessica's visits. They're going to be virtual, and you stated until she can provide a clean drug screen. Are we talking hair follicle or clean UA?
UA.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Zavala, anything to present?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, do you have a recommendation today?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe it's in Stetson's best interest to remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. He's doing well, and he is placed with his brother in a great placement.
All right, thank you. All right, then at this time, I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator. I'm not going to order any child support or medical support to be paid by Ms. Reed and or the alleged father, Austin Anderson. Obviously at this time, we'll do virtual visits with mom until she gives a negative UA. And at such time as she gives that negative UA and maintains that, then we'll go to in-person visits as we can make that happen. I am going to dismiss the alleged father, Daniel Austin, at this time from the case based on the information that we've verified today. We'll find a continuing danger to return the child home at this point in time to mother or the alleged father. Fathers, because we have an unknown. And I will order the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. And Ms. Reed, we've gone down this road before, so I mean, a lot more than some parents walking into this for the first time about what we need to see you do. And just like in your other case, these folks, they're really here to help you. And we'd love to see you, go get into an intensive program. And, all I can do is tell you, I think you need something that's more than like a 30-day type situation. With your history and everything, I really encourage you to look at something that is a long time type program, something that can lead to you, like the Downtown Women's Center program, something where you could live there. And if things really go great, at some point the child could be placed with you. But somewhere where you've got some long-term support. Because for whatever reason, I mean, you've not been able to achieve the sobriety that we need to see. We need to see a full 6 months of sobriety. And just with your past history, I'd love to see you engage in some longer term program. But if 30 days is what you're willing to do right now, that's a start. But when they sit down to talk about your services in this case, I know that some kind of, even if you complete an inpatient, some kind of intensive outpatient program is going to be, part of what we're going to want to see. So, talk with all these people about what your options are and what kind of programs are out there and see if there's something that might be a good fit for you. Okay. All right. We'll talk more about your service plans at the next hearing, but it's just very important you stay in contact with Ms. Lucero and that you stay in contact with your permanency specialist that will become involved with you at this point in time. All right, I appreciate everybody, and our status hearing will be January 23rd of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. So I'll see everybody back then, and we'll go over our service plan information. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. White.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a Merry Christmas.
Okay, make it.
We're here set for an adversary hearing today, and we are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record this morning. Okay, Mr. Gruff, do you need Ms. Lawrence, Abigail Lawrence, for this hearing? Ms. Mincy's saying yes.
He's filling in for the PS. The PS is Jalissa, but Abby's going to fill in for her.
Okay. All right, let me bring her in. So the court received paperwork from Mr. McGuire requesting a court-appointed attorney. There was a lot of missing information, so it was sent back for him, and then he returned it. I believe that just came in either late yesterday or Ms. Katie, when did we get the revised one?
We got it this morning, Judge.
Okay, this morning. So he has been appointed counsel per his request. That's going to be William Taylor. And for that reason, we'll need to reset the hearing. Because of the holiday, I don't know what we're looking at here. Miss Katie?
Yeah, that should work. The 2nd of January.
Miss Katie, I need to look at that just a minute. I know a lot of what we have set are could possibly be agreements, but not knowing that. Let's see, we also have that.
The only issue I can foresee, Judge, I'm already before Your Honor in the in an Oldham County matter. But if in the event this is contested, we may need some additional witnesses, and just coming off the holiday, I'm not sure what everyone's availability is. So I'll throw that out there for the court's consideration.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't think we wouldn't have a court reporter because, well, I'm not sure what else the Judge Graham might have scheduled. I don't know. The Friday the 27th. It's technically a holiday for us, but if I need to take this up, I'll do that on that day.
And I see that Mom, I believe that's Mom who's present with Mr. McGuire.
Yeah, she did.
I don't know. I believe Mr. Barfield represents her in the underlying OTP case. I don't know. I assume she's asking for an attorney also.
Yes, and Ms. Gomez is here today filling in for him. So she already has been assigned counsel, and he's out of the country right now. We'd have to verify that date with him as well. I don't know, Ms. Gomez, do you know when he's returning?
Well before the 27th, Your Honor, but I'm not exactly sure. I can I'm right next door to his assistant. I can run over there with the date right now, very quickly.
Let me just ask, is Ms. Zavala, are you or Mr. Groff available on that Friday to do anything? I don't know what Charles' plans are.
December 27th?
Uh-huh.
I'll be at my parents' home, but I can do it from there.
I hate doing that to everybody, but Mr. Groff, what about you?
Yeah, I'm available, Judge. I'll be working from home also. I do the Zoom hearings from home.
Okay. Then Ms. Gomez, I guess if you don't mind a check just to see if he might be available to do that. And then of course, everybody can discuss between now and then whether anything can be worked out. But I thought we were here to see him. And we'll have to check to see if Mr. Taylor's available then too.
And Judge, I apologize. I was looking at dockets. Were you saying that you thought the second was going to be too long?
I don't think I can do it on the second. I'm kind of under a time restraint that day. We've got a number of reviews set, but we
I was
already,
glancing at that. I think a number of the after reviews will be able to go away. I can't tell you exactly which ones yet, but I feel like a lot of them will be able to.
okay. My concern is we have one adversary hearing reset that day already.
And Judge, that's a new case. That's the one from this morning. So that one can be extended if we need to.
Well, okay, let's just see. My constraint is that I pretty much have to be done by 11 o'clock because I've got to be somewhere at 1 and I've got some travel involved in that in between those time, that 2-hour time frame. So, if Ms. Katie, if we just extend that Chavez case and we could set this at 9 o'clock on the 9 o'clock docket on that Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't we reset it to that January 2nd? Miss Katie, what works better, you think? Should we put it first?
Yes, Judge, I think we'll go ahead and put this one first.
Okay.
That way we can allow for a little bit of time and I can just set the other hearings for a shorter amount of time and we'll see what agreements we get in.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, and I'm tempted to even, if we could do it, set it at 8:30. That'd even be better.
Yes, Judge, we can do that.
Okay. And I apologize. It's something I can't adjust. I'm sorry.
It is what it is, Your Honor.
So, okay, then, we'll verify that with Mr. Taylor and hopefully that works for him. If for some reason that's a problem, we'll let everybody know. Okay, thank you all so much. And Mr. McGuire, Ms. McGuire, you will be contacted with a new Zoom link for January 2nd at 9 a.m.
Okay.
8:30, Your Honor.
I mean, yeah, 8:30. Thank you. 8:30. Okay, appreciate everybody. You all have a good Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Judge. Happy New Year.
Conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming and Ms. Taylor is making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Counsel Eugene Graff and Elaine Lucero on behalf of the department, present and ready to proceed.
Brooks Barfield on behalf of Krista McGuire. I'm ready to proceed.
Bill Taylor, William Taylor for the father, Jake McGuire. I'm ready to proceed. I don't see him on. He did acknowledge receipt of the link from me and indicated that he would be on, but I don't see him yet.
He is not in the waiting room.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
And Your Honor, I don't know if Mr. Barfield is aware. I just learned moments ago via email that the mother may be in jail right now. She apparently was arrested last week.
Potter County.
I believe so, yes.
May I answer that? She actually was arrested in Randall County on the 31st and posted bond and is no longer in.
Oh, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, as stated, this is a reset. We are going to have to proceed today in their absence. If Mr. Groff, if you just in sworn testimony, if you will cover what efforts were made to notify parents. They've obviously are both aware because they've applied for court-appointed attorneys and have been appointed attorneys. So,
and I'll note for the record too, Judge, they did appear at the last hearing we had on this when we set today's hearing.
That's correct. All right, then, Ralph, you can call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Call Elaine Lucero.
Yes, I'm the family-based worker that had been working with the family.
Okay, and when were you assigned?
I was assigned to start working with the family, let me see, on the October the 30th.
Okay, and you signed the affidavit, filed the petition in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you just confirmed the names of the children. Can you just recite what are their ages?
Yes, Rhiannon is 5, Angie's 8, Job is 10, and Jacob is 12.
Okay. And who are the parents?
Their parents are Krista McGuire and Jacob McGuire Sr.
And what efforts did you make to make sure that the parents were served notice of this proceeding?
I went out and during the removal, I tried to meet with dad multiple times. I met with mom while she was in the behavioral health unit. After the removal, I'd been out to the house multiple times to visit both parents.
And did you make arrangements through my office to have the sheriffs serve the parents the paperwork?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. And the parents did appear at our last hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and that was the initial hearing in this matter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where was the family living at the time of removal?
They were living in a rental home.
Okay. And where was that located?
Here in Amarillo, off of Alabama.
Okay. And you filed a petition where the allegations true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
What were the specific allegations?
There's concerns with mom's mental health. There's been a continuing issue throughout the case. Her being left with the kids on her own after we've spoke to the family and asked for dad not to leave the children with her. And then with dad, with both parents, there's concerns for substance abuse. Neither parent has been cooperative with the department. We had an order to participate. Neither one of them have started any services. And when we asked them to drug screen, they both refused.
Okay. And was there a specific incident that caused you to seek removal? Or was it a combination of factors?
It really was a combination of factors of we had held a family team meeting with the family initially to ask dad not to leave the kids with mom, and he agreed. But then it was continuous. It continued to happen. When going out to the home, mom was by herself with the children, and her mental health was just not in a good state. She had busted out the windows a few days after that out of the entire home, ended up in the behavioral health unit.
Okay, and was that an involuntary hold?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and were the children present when that occurred?
From us speaking with them and their knowledge of what took place, it did sound as if they were present during that incident.
Okay. And what specifically did you do to investigate the allegations?
I'd been out to the school and spoke with staff who had seen mom bring the children up to the school, and they had a lot of concerns with her mental health, with how she was treating the children when she took them up to the school. I spoke to neighbors. I spoke to law enforcement who had been out to the house that had concerns with mom's mental health.
And was it your understanding it was law enforcement that had precipitated or initiated the involuntary hold?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity prior to filing to review these allegations with the parents?
Yes.
And did they deny any of the allegations?
Dad did. Mom refused to meet with me. Even whenever I caught her at the home, she told me I didn't make an appointment, so she just refused to speak with me. Dad denied everything, but then when we asked him to drug screen, he said he would go, and then the following day just let us know that he wasn't going to go, that he would rather have a positive result than from, he would rather fail his drug screen just from not going than to actually go and take the test.
And what specific drug are we talking about that you're concerned about?
Methamphetamines.
Okay. What was the condition of the children? Well, let me strike that. You had an opportunity to meet with the children during the course of your investigation, correct?
Yes.
And what was their condition when you investigated?
As in, like, their physical well-being?
Physical or emotional well-being. Did you have any concerns?
There was a lot of concern with the kids' behaviors. Just some of the things that they were drawing, some of the things that they were saying, just their emotional well-being from being in the home. seeing the things that were going on with mom and dad and concerns with domestic violence between the parents. There's a lot of concerns with their emotional state.
And you said there was drawings. What was the specific drawing that was concerning to you?
There was concerns with Rhiannon. At removal, she was drawing photographs of herself and a penis next to her in the drawing.
And she's 5?
Yes, sir.
Was there a forensic interview conducted?
There was.
Were any outcries made?
No.
Okay. Is it your position there was a danger to the physical health or safety of the children that was caused by an act or failure of the parents in this instance?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, was there a specific danger to the physical health or safety of the children that was caused by the acts or failure to act by the parents that led you to seek removal?
Yes.
And can you explain to the court how that act or failure to act endangers their physical health or safety?
Just the children's continued to be left alone with mom and her mental health. The kids have told me on multiple occasions that mom had threatened to stab them. I had spoke to dad multiple times about that, about not leaving the kids with her because of her mental health. And he would be in agreement. And then the next thing I would show up in the evening and the kids were, well, really Rhiannon, and she was gone. She would be with her mom. And so there's just continued concern for.
Now, you said you were in the home as well. Did you have any concerns about the physical condition of the home that caused you to also have concerns for the health and safety of the children?
Yes, the conditions of the home were not very good. There wasn't very much food in the home. The house was just dirty, dirty clothes strung out throughout the house. The kids didn't have any beds. There was just dirty mattresses laying on the floor where they were sleeping without any blankets.
Did you attempt to do anything to remedy the lack of bedding, for example?
I did. I had requested beds for the family, and they were denied through the organization that we use because beds had been previously supplied to the family in March of this year. And so we weren't able to even provide them beds.
Were you able to talk to the parents about what happened to the beds that had previously been provided to the family?
I did. I spoke with dad and asked him what had happened to them, and he said that the kids had destroyed them, and that's why they didn't have any. I wondered. I had asked him what sort of bedding they were, and he said that they were metal beds. They weren't wood. So I don't know. He never was specific about how the beds were destroyed. Just that the kids just destroyed them.
Okay. And you already discussed the father's refusal to do a UA and willingness to have that treated as dirty. What gives you concerns about the mother's drug use or alleged drug use?
Mom had been speaking with people, the neighbors that I had spoke to in the neighborhood, about her methamphetamine use. And when she was picked up by law enforcement as well, during not this last incident, but the one prior, when she was on a police hold at the behavioral health unit, she had mentioned to law enforcement that she was under the influence of methamphetamines. And I did speak with her while she was there at the behavioral health unit about that.
And she had cut her hair off, I believe you had reported. Is that correct?
Yeah, she had completely shaved her head.
And did she make any specific admission to you when you spoke with her?
She had asked me if she did go drug screen for the department and she was positive, like what would take place. So she never directly said she was using, but she was forthcoming about what would, asking me what would happen if she did.
So you took that as an implied admission?
Yes.
Okay. And then does she have a prior history of meth use?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Do you have any understanding as to why she was involuntarily committed other than just general mental health concerns?
I know that prior to prior to being admitted, she had busted out all the windows from the home. And there is a previous diagnosis of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Right. And she had been previously ordered to obtain mental health services in the order to participate case, but your report indicated she was not accessing those services. Is that your understanding?
Yes. Through the OTP as well as through probation, she had been ordered to seek mental health.
And to your knowledge, was she in compliance with probation?
No.
Okay. Are you concerned about the impact of the mother's mental health as well as conflict in the home that was reported
Yes.
as having on the children?
Yes, sir.
And okay, answer that. Since her release, have you been, well, first of all, when do you understand she was released from the involuntary hold?
She never, when I spoke with her, I asked her to call me when she got out. But she never did come, she never did call me. I just ended up showing up at the house the day before the last hearing, and she was at the home. I hadn't heard from her. I just showed up to try to speak with Dad, and she was there.
So that would have been December 18th by my calculations, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you been provided with any diagnosis or treatment recommendations for her?
No, sir.
Okay. And the fact that she's now out, does that increase or decrease the risk level to the children?
I would say it increases the risk level for them to go home.
And is it your understanding she is back in the home with the father?
Yes, when I went to see her, that's where she was at, back at the house.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you had discussions with Mr. McGuire prior to removal. So at the time that mom's mental health issues were coming to a head, was he initially compliant or at least willing to work with you around the concerns you identified with him?
I wouldn't necessarily say he was compliant. He would never schedule anything with me as far as meetings or anything like that. I would just show up late in the evening to try to catch him at home. And if he was there, he would talk with me.
Did you have occasion to set up a family conference?
Yes.
And at that time, did he make any agreements as far as restricting mom's contact and addressing the substance abuse concern?
During that meeting, he did say that he would drug screen for us and that he would not leave the kids with mom.
And did he follow through with that?
No, the following day is whenever he texted me saying he wasn't going to drug screen.
Okay. And was that before or after the meeting at the house on the 18th?
That was before.
Okay. All right. About the condition of the home. Did you have an opportunity to observe the parents' interactions with the children?
Just I did see Dad with the kids. Mom, I only saw her one time, but there wasn't a whole lot of interaction. The kids were just really trying to stay away from her.
Right. So would you say there was anything in your observation about that interaction that caused concern other than mom's lack of interaction?
From outside of the things that the kids told me that she was saying that day, I didn't see any interaction, but I've been given information from collaterals, the school and neighbors of what they had seen between the children and mom and their concerns with how mom was treating the kids.
Okay. And it sounds like you yourself really just didn't have an opportunity to see a lot of interaction.
No.
Okay. And Jacob and Job are on probation for arson, correct?
That's correct.
And is one of the requirements for that probation for them to be supervised at all times?
Yes.
And did you have any concerns about that, whether or not that requirement was being honored?
I did. I had showed up to the home during Thanksgiving break just to check in on them and see if they were okay. And they were at the house by themselves, all the kids, and there was an adult present.
Okay. What services at this point in time are you requesting for each parent and why?
I'm requesting, of course, mental health treatment for mom, for her to seek that, substance abuse treatment for both parents. Some
Evaluation and recommended treatment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Some individual counseling. I don't know if parents are wanting to stay together or not, but if so, then joint counseling, some parenting classes.
About psychological evaluation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it your belief at this time that these young children are at serious risk of harm due to the conditions in the parent's home, as well as the parents' issues with potential substance abuse and conflict between them?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that the services you identified are reasonably necessary to mitigate the risk?
Yes.
You believe that those services need to be completed or substantially worked on before the risk to the children would be mitigated such that they could be returned home?
Yes.
Okay. And would you, to the extent that you did not identify any services previously ordered in the motion to participate case, would you also ask that they be completed?
Yes.
Okay. And just a couple more questions. What reasonable efforts were made to prevent removal?
We had tried to put the kids in daycare to try to mitigate the concerns with them being left home alone. And they were not showing up to daycare, which kind of probably would have helped. I mean, we've spoken to dad, had a family group conference with dad and grandma. You know, try to bring family in. I've spoken with the school to, you know, kind of see what we could do there to make sure the kids were attending school regularly.
Would you say that the motion to participate case also was a less restrictive alternative made as a reasonable effort to prevent removal?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still believe it's contrary to the welfare of these children for them to return home?
Yes.
And is it for the reasons you previously testified to?
Yes.
Okay. And you indicated that mom's release from her involuntary commitment does not change your position at this time?
Yes.
Okay. And do you believe a period of demonstrated stability along with compliance with services is necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a substantial risk of continuing danger to the children if they were allowed to be returned home today?
Yes, there is.
And what is the risk and why is it substantial?
The risk that the kids would be physically abused. There's been continued reports from the kids of physical abuse and neglect in the home due to the mom's mental health and concerns with substance abuse.
Okay. What actions has the department made to locate a placement other than placing them in substitute care?
We have looked into the only relative that is possible, which is maternal grandmother. That's the one that both parents have given us. And prior to this case, there was a home study for her, which was denied. And we have previous history with grandma not being protective and allowing the kids to return to mom on several occasions.
Okay. And have the children been asked in a developmentally and age-appropriate manner about possible placement options?
Yes.
Okay. And at this point in time, is it, well, let me strike that. And did they also identify the grandmother or did they identify anyone at all?
They identified grandma.
Okay. Is it in the best interest of the children to have the department named as the temporary managing conservator for them?
At this time, yes, I do believe so.
And how is that? That it's in their best interest?
I believe that if they were to return home, there would just be continued concerns with mental health and substance abuse.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Have the parents and or the family members with knowledge been asked to complete an ICWA questionnaire?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason to believe that the children are or may qualify for membership of a Indian or Native American tribe recognized by the Indian Child Welfare Act?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. Pass the witness.
Mr. Barfield?
Ma'am, when is the last time you actually had verbal contact with Chris? I represent Mom, Krista.
I believe it was on the 18th. Let me see.
After she got released from involuntary detention.
Yes, that's correct. It was after she was released from there.
Have she responded to any of your texts or anything of that nature?
She doesn't have, a telephone, from my understanding. It's really through dad's phone is
Okay.
how I communicate with her.
Okay. Do you, I believe you testified earlier, you suspect she may be with dad, living with the father in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, when I spoke with her in the behavioral health unit, that's what she said, that when I asked her where she would be going, and she said back to the residence.
Okay. And, but we have another case that we had a hearing, a little bit ago, and the hearing date was announced for today's hearing, the reset, in that, and she was present for that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Would you, and so, we have no idea, exactly what her mental state is right now, or whether she's using drugs or not, because she just hasn't tested. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions, Judge.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. When was your last contact with Mr. McGuire?
It was during the hearing, was the last on Zoom, but the day prior to the last hearing was the last contact I had with him face to face.
Did he ever indicate to you why he allowed contact with mom unsupervised after telling you that he would?
No.
That he wouldn't?
No, sir.
Okay. The paperwork indicates that he works for his father's plumbing company. Did he not indicate any relatives on his side of the family who might be able to take some role in the care of the kid?
No, and I had even asked him about his dad. I even asked the children about their paternal grandfather, and if they had ever stayed with him, to kind of see if maybe he was an option. And the kids had told me that they'd only stayed the night with him like maybe once with paternal grandfather, but they just told me like he works a lot, and they never, have never stayed with him at his home. So, which was kind of strange to me, but even the kids didn't mention him as a possible placement.
What kind of criminal background check did you do or discover with regard to Mr. McGuire?
Dad?
Yes.
There's really no concern with his criminal background.
So basically the total concern with him is that he lets mom have contact that you don't like.
Well, there's reported drug use by father.
He does have prior drug use?
Well, there's reported drug use.
Reported?
Yes, sir.
Not reported by himself?
No, there's reported drug use by collaterals who I've spoken with, and we tried to alleviate those by having dad go and drug screen for us, and he refused.
Okay. So you've got no actual drug history that you have no drug tests.
Not current.
No convictions of any kind.
Not current. There's prior concerns and previous history with the Department of Methamphetamine use by dad. But not current. He's refused a drug screen for us.
You do have previous history of drug use by dad?
Yes, sir.
How long ago?
The last case that we had when the children were previously removed was in 2018. And during that time, there was concerns of drug use by dad.
6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago now. Okay. Okay, I'll pass the witness, John.
Ms. Zavala?
Ms. Lucero, the two older boys are both on juvenile probation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have they been meeting with their probation officer like they're supposed to?
No.
And they were living with dad when they were required to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Under that probation, they were not supposed to be left unsupervised, but you found them at the home when they were living with dad unsupervised?
Yes.
They weren't supposed to be left with mom, but yet when they were living with dad, they were left with mom?
Yes.
The beds that were delivered in March and have now disappeared, they were delivered to dad?
Yes.
Jacob and Job are placed together, correct?
That's correct.
And the girls are placed together in a separate placement?
Yes.
When I spoke with the kids, they mentioned a great grandmother. I do not have an actual name. Do you know if a great grandmother on maternal side, do you know if that was explored?
Not that it was ever brought to my attention by anybody, by
Okay.
either of the parents. It was just grandmother, maternal grandmother.
Okay. And we can continue to look into her as a potential option throughout the case.
Yes.
At this point, do the kids themselves want any contact with mom?
When I've spoken with them, they've said that they didn't want to see her, that they hated her, that she was mean to Rhiannon, that they've had to protect Rhiannon from her, and just
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just use quite a bit of profanity when talking about mom.
How does 5-year-old Rhiannon talk about mom?
It's pretty intense when anytime you bring mom up. I mean, just some of the things that she says is very concerning.
Kind of profanity laced?
Yeah, and talking about her mom, that her mom has strangled her when she gets upset, that she's thrown full Coke cans with soda pop in them still at her. Just very concerning.
I pass witness.
All right, Mr. Groff, anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor, and the state rests at this time.
All right, I appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Barfield, anything to present today?
Your Honor, no, I don't have anything to present today. We'll continue to try to make contact with my client, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor?
No, Your Honor, same as Mr. Barfield just said, I've had no actual contact with Mr. McGuire. Even though he filled out the request for an attorney, he's not responded to my phone call messages nor my email attempts to contact him, other than he did acknowledge receipt of the link and indicated that he intended to be at the hearing today, but as already noted, he has not appeared. I will continue to try to reach out to him.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, Ms. Zavala, anything to present or just your recommendation today?
No witnesses, Your Honor, just a recommendation.
Okay, let me just ask everybody rest and close.
Rest and close.
Rest and close.
Rest and close.
Okay, Ms. Zavala, your recommendation today.
Your Honor, it is my recommendation that all 4 children remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. I do believe that's in their best interest.
All right, I appreciate it. At this time, then I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of all of the children. I would find that there is a continuing and ongoing danger to the children's health and safety to remain in the home with either parent. I will expect the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family and that parents will work requested services. We will talk more about the service plans at our next hearing, which is the status hearing, and that will be on February 6th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. And I'll see everybody back at that time.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, Bill.
Okay. All right.
And Your Honor, I'm just
Mr. Trout,
Uh-huh.
we have an agreement.
Okay. In light of that, Judge, we may need to speak to Mr. Johnson,
Yeah, I was going to say,
or let you admonish him and then we'll speak to him.
Mr. Johnson. All right, sir, this is Judge Baker. I need to talk to you about a couple of things. You are entitled to apply for a court-appointed attorney in this matter. I have not received any paperwork from you. Have you been given that paperwork?
No, ma'am.
Have you been in contact with the department folks?
Yes, ma'am, but I haven't been in town yet.
Okay, you're still out of town?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have a way for them to get that paperwork to you?
They mail it or email it.
You have email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple of options today. You can either speak with the department's attorney, and see if there's something that you're willing to work out with those folks. And that's fine, but if you prefer to let me look and see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney first, we can do that. Let me just ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Johnson. Do you work?
Do I work?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do?
I drive trucks.
All right. And are you a long haul driver?
Yes, ma'am. Over the road.
All right. How much do you make each month?
It's different prices because I get paid by the percentage. It depends what I do.
How much money did you make last year? Did you report to the Internal Revenue Service?
Probably, 'cause I was working in Hereford last year. Probably no more than 65, 70.
All right, sir. You understand why we're here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you talked with department representatives?
Only about the situation that happened.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that being said, do you want to visit with the department's attorney and see if there's anything you want to try to work out with them? If not, I'm gonna have to get your paperwork to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. If you're making that kind of money, you may not qualify.
I don't make that much.
Well, I
I pay
understand, but
child support and all that too.
yeah, and I need to have all that information to see, what's kind of left at the end of the month. But I'm just telling you that I'm not sure you're going to fall into the indigent category.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I think it's worth just a few minutes of everybody's time. Let me see if you want to visit with the department's attorney about what, at least you can kind of find out what your options are here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in a breakout room. Mr. Trout, would you like for Ms. Zavala to join? Mr. Johnson, Ms. Zavala is the attorney who's been assigned to represent the child.
Sure, Your Honor. That's
Okay,
fine.
she may, and because she may have some information that would be of interest to you, or could matter to you one way or the other. So what's going to happen is, Mr. Johnson, you're going to get a prompt to join room 1, and you can say join.
Judge, we are back in.
Okay, Mr. Trout, do you want to just give me an update?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. After speaking with Mr. Johnson, he does want to try to do the paperwork to get a court-appointed attorney.
Sorry, we haven't called it. I don't know if that matters yet.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just go ahead and call it. So, we're here today set for an adversary hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. Okay, present today is Mr. Trout for the Department of Family and Protective Services. Ms. Zavala is present, representing the child. Ms. Gomez is present, representing the mother, Kristen Campbell, who is also present. And then the father, Tommy Johnson, is present with us. He has not been appointed or retained counsel at this time. So Mr. Trout, it's my understanding he's wanting to do one or the other.
Yes, ma'am. He said before he proceeded, he would like to try to have counsel represent him.
All right. So Mr. Campbell, we can reset this case. It's a little tricky because of the holiday. So it's going to put it off for a bit. But the sooner I can get the paperwork from you, the sooner I can determine whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Based on some information that you gave me just informally earlier, there's a little bit of a question about that. You may have to retain an attorney. In other words, hire your own attorney. But I'm happy to take a look at what you present to me. And so, let's see. I'm trying to see. Ms. Zuniga, has he been sent that paperwork, emailed that paperwork?
It was emailed to him.
Okay, so Mr. Johnson, that's been emailed to you. You'll need to fill that out. Be very thorough with it, because if I don't have accurate information, I can't make a decision about that. So the sooner you can do that and get it back to Ms. Zuniga, then she'll
I never
forward.
received it in the email.
I'm sorry?
I never received it in the email. Uh-oh.
Okay, let's verify your email address.
It's JAN. Let me check it, because I don't see it.
You may need to check your spam too, Mr. Johnson. Make sure it didn't fall into one of those filters.
Is it the attorney, office of attorney?
No, this is going to come from Angelica.Taylor.
No, it's not in there.
Well, it could take a few minutes possibly to get to you.
Oh, I thought she already sent it.
Did y'all send it again to that email? Yes.
Yeah, she's sending it again. If you're in town, Mr. Johnson, you can come to the office and we can help you fill it out.
Melody,
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
He's out of state and he's going to be out of state for most of next week. We had that discussion, Your Honor, to if he could stop by some sort of print shop or something while he's on the road and print it off and get it sent back, or if there's any way he can fill it out on like a DocuSign type situation or online. Can he do that, Melody?
We can't send it via DocuSign,
Okay.
but we can have St. Francis do that. They have the ability to do that.
Okay.
I just got it. Angelica Taylor BS.
Yes.
I just got it down.
Okay, so Mr. Johnson, can you go somewhere and print that and then have them email it back?
Yes, ma'am.
Like most, UPS stores, FedEx stores, those kind of places have all that capability.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then the sooner you can do that, then get that back to Ms. Taylor, then she'll get it to me. And I'll take a look at it and see if you qualify for an attorney.
Okay. What makes me don't qualify?
Well, it's a
Because I was
question
a truck. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's a question of your income and your expenses, and I would look at what child support you're paying and that kind of thing.
Because I had a case like 7 or 8 years ago, and I was a truck driver then, and I got an attorney then. But
okay, it just I'll just have to take a look at it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have county officials, looking over what I do in that regard because the county has to pay for it. So,
yes, ma'am.
I've got to be sure that you really do qualify for that. And I'm just telling you, if you're making that much a year, it may be difficult to get that process through. And at that, if I cannot appoint, then you will have to hire an attorney to represent you if you want one.
Yes, ma'am.
But I will take a look at it.
All righty.
Okay, so now we kind of crossed that threshold. So now we got to look at what we can do on a reset date.
Excuse me.
And Judge, I don't know if you have seen it yet. I just want to give the court a heads up on this. We realized just a day or two ago that there's actually an AG's case that's been pending. They had a hearing last month. We missed it because the child's name is hyphenated at that point. It wasn't pulling up. We did track that case down. So we have filed a order to consolidate those cases, our current case number and the AG's case. So that was filed yesterday.
Okay,
I just want to give the court a heads up on that.
okay. Was it a support order?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a original SAPSR type?
I
case?
believe so. Let me go back and find that case, Your Honor. Oh. And I believe they had a hearing on child support just last month, I believe is what it was.
It was a reinstate from, because I was already paying child support. It was just I guess the 3-year deal or something like that.
Had you been ordered to pay support before that time?
Yeah, I've been paying for like 3 or 4 years.
Okay, all right. So was it a modification? Were they just reviewing
Yes, ma'am.
the amount of child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you owe any back child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're paying current now and some arrearage payment, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I was only like 2,000 behind.
Okay. Can you see that, Mr. Trout? Was it probably a modification?
Yes, ma'am. I was trying to see the original petition. When you click on it, is actually let me pull it back up real quick. A review order at that point also, and that was in 2020.
Okay.
And then this most recent.
Yeah, that's the first time I got put on in 20.
Okay. Yeah, it was an order in suit of modification of support, confirm arrearage is what was done on last month, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, then we'll deal with that. There's nothing, Mr. Johnson, there's nothing about that you need to worry about or have to do, but we have to get those cases kind of all rolled into one, so.
And Judge, it was actually in September, AG filed a suit for modification of support and to confirm. So that's what they had filed.
Okay. All right, so we got to look at reset. What we can do. Mr. Trout, let's see. I'm trying to look. What would our absolute drop dead date be to have the adversary?
I believe it'd be around the 3rd, Your Honor.
If we had it on, I'm just trying to figure out if we could do it either. Okay, I'm going to throw out a couple options, like at 3 o'clock. Oh gosh, that's terrible. What about on the 3rd, first thing in the morning on the 3rd? That's a Friday. Miss Taylor, I don't know if you've got stuff with, that's fine or not.
No, Judge Graham's not coming back till the 6th.
Okay.
I could do that.
I can do that, John.
Okay. Let's do the same thing. I'd like to set it, if we can, at 8:30 that morning. Again, that's technically a holiday for us, but we'll do it because we just don't have a lot of options. So Miss Katie might not be here with us, but you know. All right. So we'll do 8:30 a.m. on Friday, January 3rd. So Mr. Johnson, you can get that paperwork to us. I'll look at it. We'll let you know quickly whether or not you qualify. And if you don't, you can start reaching out, trying to make contact with some attorneys.
All right.
Do you have a primary residence in Amarillo, or where is your home?
It's my mother's house.
Is that in Amarillo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, I appreciate everybody. I'll see you back 8:30 a.m. on Friday the 3rd of January 2025. And everybody have a good Christmas and Happy New Year.
You too. Mr.
Thank
Johnson,
you.
as soon as you can get to a place, please just get that paper filled out and email it back to Miss Taylor.
Okay.
And the sooner you can get that done, the quicker we can try to get you somebody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, we're just right on upon the holiday and a lot of people will take some extended time at, Christmas and trying to contact people, during this time of year is difficult. So the sooner the better.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Thank you all. And I'll see you back January 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Okay. That'll
Alrighty.
conclude our docket for this morning. So thank you all very much and see you next time.